Augie, there's a familiar thing we've all seen. We've all been in this job for a long time. Manager departs, gets sacked, whatever. Clubs start filtering out information about why the decision was inevitable on the one hand, while also going out of their way to thank him and say we're still great friends. Now we're going to get to the Solskjaer exit interview, if that's what you want to call it, in a minute. But first, unsurprisingly, this morning, our website, Rob Dawson, had a very good piece like that, with information coming from the clubs explaining why it had to go. Anything you read in there that surprised you? What do you think was most significant about where Solskjaer went wrong?
Well, we all know where Solskjaer went wrong. He just wasn't strong enough.
Sorry, let me change that. Not what we know, but what the club has fed to the media, because that's what's been going on the last 24 hours,
all
right?
the little stories.
We all know this, yeah? This is this is what happens. Well, it all comes out now and not before. It's not like it all changed all of a sudden.
The reality is that it's almost been a sense of apologetically we were bounced into this because they didn't want to sack him. So there's not been an array of reasons for letting him go. They really didn't want to sack him. They were desperate for him to turn it around after the Liverpool game. So hoping against hope that he could do it. So there hasn't been the usual character assassination, that you usually get from people saying that, oh, he did this, the place hated this, the place hated that. There hasn't been any of that, really. It's been more a case of ridiculously what a good guy he was and what a nice guy he was. This has been a strange sacking in that sense because, from the players' camps and people like that's where you get the kind of the reality of it. But from the club's perspective, it's not been a taking down of the manager. It's been bizarre, actually. The whole softness and the kind of the modelling approach to it all, that Ollie's a great guy and all, it's so sad it didn't work for him. That's been the tone, not a sense of he made the players train too hard and they didn't like him. It's been very odd, really odd.
But the players didn't like the fact that he was hardly taking training and let him Carrick and McKenna taking training.
But Cloughy never took training,
yeah,
right? There's an old tradition in England of the manager not taking training sessions, which is kind of pathetic.
So I think there was a lot as well from the players within the dressing room.
Yeah.
And you and I know some of the players who were not happy with the lack of leadership. And I know I always go back to this, but I just find it incredible that during the matches, he used to go and sit next to Carrick and say, okay, why are we doing that? And you could see them on your screen or in the stadium, when we were in the stadium, or on TV, him talking to Carrick, then going to Phil and, okay, what do we do now? Going to McKenna, okay, what do we do now? Because there was no leadership. He was not leading by example, as in terms of leadership. And it's the same at training. Tactically, I mean, it was abysmal, and I think the players very quickly realised that. But if you're the club, and just to go back quickly, if you're the club, okay, and you're Ed Woodward and you're watching training and Solskjaer is not there, not taking training, surely you think this is not how a Manchester United manager, and I'm not talking the old school guy like Fergie and Cloughy and Busby and all of that, I'm taking now. Now you have to be on the football pitch with your players, because then it shows that you've got no identity to feed them. You don't implement anything at training, and then you end up with David De Gea saying after the Watford defeat, we don't know what to do with the ball. The guy's been there 3 years, and the players still tell you there's no plan, no patterns of play, no idea, no identity, and De Gea says in front of the whole country, the whole world, we don't know what to do with the ball. I mean, come on.
Well, let me do the big name drop here, because when you mentioned people not taking training, Sir Alex told me, not you guys, he told me personally that at the end of his career, he took training a lot less frequently than he did. At the beginning, he was micromanaging. But that was when, by that point, he had the same, well, his assistants did change over the year, but he had the same people there who were doing exactly what he wanted, and it was a choice he made because by stepping back, he could pick up on things. But he was very, very much engaged. I wonder if Solskjaer just noted the end of Fergie when he started doing that, rather than the first part when he was out there micromanaging.
Maybe,
because
it's still not a good reason.
Sorry, Mark, you were going to say?
I think one of the most damning things at the weekend was the fact that I was told that Ollie was given the opportunity by the club to bring in anybody he wanted, any coach he wanted, anything to improve the backroom stuff, and he turned it down because he said that his coaching team was already world class, and that's what he actually told.
But, when he says these things, does he believe that?
No, surely not.
Because this is a good transition
Surely
into his
not.
interview, right?
No,
I'm watching it, and I'm thinking okay, you're a nice guy, You're Norwegian. You're not one of those opinionated Norwegians like our boy Fjortoft.
Yeah.
You're clearly one of those overly polite, almost a Canadian Norwegian. Like, and you never say anything negative.
Norwegians.
You know what I mean, right?
Canadians and Norwegians.
I say it in a nice way,
Still,
right?
sorry, guys.
You're very polite. And you want to talk about how much you love the club and how much, okay, it's fine.
All the friends he made and remade and reconnected with and connected with, and the one in the future he will make.
But surely he realized this. Surely he's played enough football to know that, oh, look, my team's playing really, really badly, right? Even when we win, we're playing badly. Even when we win, it's because that guy, Cristiano Ronaldo, who bumped up our wage bill by 25%, 23% when we signed him, is saving us the same way Bruno Fernandes saved us last season. Yeah. He must have seen these things. And I'm just wondering, maybe the exit interview wasn't the venue to do it. Do you think he'll ever give an explanation for what went wrong? Or do you think that was it? That was him saying, like, we felt it was the right time for me to step aside.
He said he tried everything. He gave everything. So clearly, that was not enough.
So that's him saying, is that him saying, Mark, I'm not good enough. I'm going to step aside because I love this club?
Clearly.
I think a lot of football people, as we know, are often in denial as to what's happening in front of them. And I think that, there's still certain ex-Man United managers complaining about not being given enough time 6, 7, 8 years ago. So some managers will never accept what their faults were. And I think Solskjaer's the same. He keeps banging on about the same things about we tried really hard, we worked really hard. They don't allow themselves to be strong enough to say, I need this or I need that. And of course you need better coaches. If you're not a coach on the training field and you're a so-called manager, you need a really top-class, reliable coach, like Fergie had with Kyrgios, with McLaren, with Mullenstein. Solskjaer wasn't strong enough to do that. And if you look at his coaching staff that he's described as world-class, the majority of them worked with him at Cardiff, who were relegated, worked with him at Molde, who, let's be honest, the Norwegian league is not comparable to the Premier League. They had a coaching staff under Solskjaer that was championship level at best. Let's give Michael Carrick and Kieran McKenna a bit of respect, because who knows what they may become. But they were in their first. Carrick's in his first job. McKenna's in his first senior job. They've employed rookies or people that have just got failure on their CV. There's nobody in that coaching staff that Solskjaer brought in with any sense of top-level elite quality. And the players ultimately got fed up with it because they're elite players, World Cup winners, Champions League winners. They're being coached by guys that got Cardiff relegated.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.